Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. And this is Throwback Thursday. And on Throwback Thursday I give you some news about one of our fandoms, and then we find an old movie to recommend that is kind of connected to it. So today we're going to be talking about the new Discovery HBO stuff and all the drama with DCEU. And our throwback movie is Batman 1989. So Warner Brothers today had its investors call. I'm going to break it down as quick as we can, and then we're going to talk a little bit about it. So let's do that. They talked about the Discovery HBO merger and what it meant, with Discovery kind of becoming more of the unscripted stuff and HBO remaining as it is. They announced this a long time ago, what they were kind of going to do here. When they first bought it, we knew they were going to have a lot of unscripted shows, but we also knew going forward exactly what we were getting into. So suddenly when the merger's this close and they make this announcement in a way that is for their investors, everybody panics. They are going to just do unscripted television from now on. So at this investors meeting, they talk about what this rumor that's been going around recently is, saying that it's not true. Then they listed the brands. They're going to separate things into brands and franchises. So they listed their brands, and their brands are HBO, Discovery, CNN, HGTV, Cartoon Network, DC, and Looney Tunes. Okay, so after they do their brands, they did their franchises. And for their franchises, they have the following: Batman, Wonder Woman, Superman, Shark Week, which I love Shark Week. That's great. Go them. More Shark Week is always good. Then Game of Thrones. They have 90 Day Fiancé listed. And Harry Potter. More franchises are bound to be added. Don't let the investors meeting with their current lineup of a sample of the franchises that they will have going forward tell you, oh, this is the only franchises they're ever going to have. It's just a portion of what you can expect from the new regime over at Warner Brothers Discovery. Then they gave us a listing of their studios. So you have Warner Brothers Television Group, 2 separate studios. DC. So the DC Comics gets its own studio. So DCEU now has its own studio, the way Marvel has its own studio over at Disney. It has never had a studio within Warner Brothers before. It's never had it. Now it officially has a studio, which officially means there will be people working towards the goal of bringing your DCEU movies that you want, deserve, and desire to fruition. And I'm excited for that. That's good news. And then they have New Line Cinema, which New Line Cinema for me will always be the house that Freddy built. Now, then they have WAG, which is Warner Brothers Animation Group. So the fact that they're telling us these to be excited for does make me excited. And then, here's the thing. So they asked them about the DCEU, and this is what they were told. They were told that going forward, they will not release films that are unfinished. They will not release films until the effects and everything else are up to par. They will not release anything that they do not think is worthwhile. And they are going to be focusing on building this 10-year plan with their own version of Kevin Feige, who they are currently hunting for, I guess. If they haven't already found this person, they're going to be kind of focusing on making sure that they have someone who can do this 10-year plan, work with the people they've already hired, and get the job done. Now, what's cool about this is that this means that some of the projects have gotten canceled. We already know The Flash got canceled, but not the Flash movie, not yet. The Flash TV show has gotten canceled. Now, that was heading towards cancellation anyway. A lot of the actors had been under contract and they were losing some of their contract players. So there's a whole thing there that maybe it isn't about money, maybe it isn't about it being The Flash or DC focused or something like that. They're not going through and dropping the axe on every DC show as of yet. And so I don't think we have to worry about that. But they did say that the Supergirl movie is dead in the water. The Batgirl movie has been outright canceled. They confirmed that they have done reshoots so that people wouldn't be confused. Yeah, they have done reshoots so people wouldn't be confused on movies. So they are doing some stuff to kind of build a cinematic universe not unlike Marvel. Now, I said there was a lot, and it's not done because recently, a lot of people have been thinking that due to them doing all this, the Snyderverse is going to be restored. Everything's going to be hunky-dory. You're going to get the Snyderverse restored. It's a thing. It's happening, people. Only it's not. And it has nothing to do with the Snyderverse not being good, with the Justice League movie that he did not being good. The Snyder Cut of Justice League is still a glorious movie. It's good. Just here's the thing about that. It was dropped on HBO Max. That was their bad, but then also in a way I'm kind of glad it was dropped on HBO Max in hindsight. And the reason being that they said, and like it or not, they said to a filmmaker who was doing a documentary film who wanted to use some of the Snyder Cut as part of his film, they said no, there's only one Justice League film, and that is Whedon's. So, yes, that's cold, and yes, that is harsh, but that is the movie that got released into the theater, and whether we like that movie, whether we didn't like that movie, I think that is a very telling thing. It says, look, this is where we are going. We're going to own the films that we did. And this new Flash movie apparently is rebooting everything. So the new universe that they create with all this may have some of these same actors playing the roles, but they can get rid of some as they see fit. Like if Ben Affleck doesn't want to come back after the Flash movie's done, he don't have to. But Henry Cavill, who wants to play Superman, probably does get to play Superman. The Flash is going to be someone else. We haven't met our Martian Manhunter yet. And to be honest, I did not like the Martian Manhunter scenes in the Snyder Cut, and I'm sorry. So I am up for seeing a much more expanded version of my boy Martian Manhunter. Let's get that going, and let's do it right. And that's going to be a cool thing going forward, is that they are focused on making everything fit and probably going to give us movies we can be proud of. One thing that has happened within the company that I heard rumors of, and they didn't talk about this as far as I know in the investor meeting either, but I had heard some rumors saying that one big problem that they had was that they could sell the toys, but they couldn't do the marketing. So like with Batman versus Superman and all of the Snyder stuff, it had become so dark that they couldn't sell McDonald's toys. McDonald's wouldn't let you sell toys. You look at Marvel, and every single movie has a toy. And that's, big marketing right there for a company like that. And it adds to the overall income that the movie produces, the overall budget, the overall everything, the box office. It makes for the movie to be that much more of a success. So I feel like they are saying that they've been held back by the point that these movies are so dark. So going forward, maybe lighter-hearted movies wouldn't be a bad thing. And you've heard me say that before. Now let's talk about our next topic, Batman 1989. Now, the reason I bring this up is because this is another rebooted movie. Basically, Batman 1989 got sequels after sequels with all different actors and different things. The first couple films had Michael Keaton, and it was actually directed by one of the greatest directors of the time. And that is Tim Burton. And Tim Burton creates this gothic feel to Gotham City, and it's really brilliant. The Joker gets his own origin story, which we don't get to see in a lot of other things. Michael Keaton makes such a good Batman that all these years later, they were going to put him in the new movies. And I think that it's a really good thing. This was also, I think, the first time we got to see his origin on the big screen, because I don't think the serial showed his origin, but I haven't seen the serials from old. I know the TV show didn't focus on his origin. So this is like the first time on screen we got to see Batman's origin. We got to see the Joker have an actual origin, not be the mystery he normally is, which was actually, at the time, sort of something I didn't like, but Jack Nicholson was brilliant in the role. And the movie has this really comical, dark comedy feel that only Tim Burton can bring. But the thing is, later on, in one of the Nolan movies, it's Two-Face that will say the line that I feel fits best here. You either die the hero or you live long enough to see yourself the villain. And you can look at that as basically Tim Burton's career. A lot of people are now kind of feeling like a lot of his movies weren't that great. I hear it all the time. I personally love every single one of his movies. I loved his take on Planet of the Apes. I loved a lot of the movies that he did that were weird and kind of strange. The only one I didn't like that he did a whole lot was Dark Shadows, and even that had its moments. But this movie is dark and twisted and gives us our first real look at Batman and Gotham City and the crazy villains that he can encounter there. And I think going back to this level of fiction, this level of fantasy for Batman, isn't such a bad thing. Take a look at this movie if you haven't seen it. And if you have, go ahead and watch it again. It still holds up. And let me know what you think in the comments. So, drop us a comment in the comment box below. Share this video with all of your friends so they get the same great content you're getting. Remember to hit that like button. It's free. YouTube likes it when you hit the like button, and we like it too. And then, friends, Miko says we need more subscribers. Miko's not wrong. So hit that subscribe button. We're almost to 500. Let's get there. And at the end of the day, fandom is family.